Hello. Yes, you're hearing a different voice. Shout out Q, that rude boy, aka the Wave Man. I appreciate you. This is Game from BusyWorksBeats.com, and I just wanted to share some techniques with you on how to create like Lil Mosey. So, you will be shocked. The sound is not from Omnisphere. So I searched Omnisphere for my keyword accordion, and this is what popped up. Now I'm gonna show you the chord breakdown and everything, but surprisingly, Omnisphere does not win in sound selection. Wait, no. I'm playing with my QWERTY keyboard, so actually let's play with my real keyboard. Now compare that sound to this. Whoa. My fault, wrong octave. Let's drop it down 2 or so. To me, Sonic Synth actually beats Omnisphere when it comes to the sound. This is why I said Omnisphere is not always your go-to for like real instruments. It's more of like a synth thing. So really, I hope you understand that. It definitely wins in this case. So let me show you the chords. Ironically enough, if you spell this out in music theory and ease, it spells fame. F-A-M-E and then another M for Mosey, I guess. That's pretty ironic considering he's pretty popular. So let's open up the piano roll. Let's get to the music theory, then we'll get to the sound selection. But sound selection is so key. That's why I said Omnisphere is not your end-all be-all. It's only one option. So I love Sonic Synth when it comes to like the sounds that you expect in a keyboard. I can't remember the price of of Sonic Synth, however, but I bought it. So it's from IK Multimedia. So we're gonna use the same chords. Chords are not copyrightable. So it's okay to use a chord progression from any song you love. So we're going F major, F-A-C-E. Then we're going A minor, A-C-E. So all the white notes. You don't have to worry about going out the scale. Now I'm going to attempt to record in his style. Again, I have a way deeper of a voice than this gentleman, this younger man. But I'm sure Q could definitely do more justice. So somewhere around 140. Okay, now we're going down to E minor, which is E-G-B. Surprisingly enough, the SpongeBob sounds are becoming popular in trap, especially for the younger crowd. I don't know what it is, but like flute sounds are coming back, happy chord progressions are coming back, and I want to say SpongeBob is the catalyst for all that. Slow this down a bit. Okay, so that's probably the exact sound he used. If not, it sounds like a real accordion, unlike the Omnisphere. And no shade in Omnisphere. Let's add an EQ. Now what I'm going to do is chisel out the frequencies. I don't want any low frequencies. And I don't want any super bright frequencies because that'll fight against other stuff. So we're just kind of putting it in its own zone. Now here's what I love about the production. And he had 2 different producers do his top main songs. So shout out to those guys. But there's a hi-hat that goes it's just perfect. Like I've never heard that rhythm on a trap beat before. So shout out to the producer. Let's find a hi-hat that sounds like that. Let's go to BusyWorksBeats.com. Let's go to the Ultimate Producer Bundle 2. Let's go to the Fire Drum Kit. You can get most of these sounds at BusyWorksBeats.com/FL Studio. We gave this away for free, the beta version of it. Now we need a hard hi-hat. Something that has a little body to it. Like this one. Let's just open it up. Now I'm going to use the fade. Now it has a little bit of low end, so I'm going to do a couple more doctoring tips to it. Just to cut out the low end. The too much. Anyway. So let's show you the hi-hat rhythm. You gotta love trap. Trap focuses on rhythm, and rhythm is key when it comes to making great songs. So the rhythm is t-t-t. Now here I can tell the BPM's too slow. Now you can also change the start time. That way you don't have to constantly go to your editor. I love this about FL20. It saves a lot of time. still think it's a little slow. So we're probably at 140. Now again, there's a lot of things that contributed to trap as it sounds now. SpongeBob, also FL Studio starting at 140 contributed to a lot of trap. Because people who didn't know anything about beats just opened up FL Studio and started, and its starting BPM was 140, and that influenced tons and tons of trap records. Now let's grab a hi-hat, trim out the silence, and all we're gonna do for the hi-hat, now we're gonna add notes in between the chords so it sounds a little more musical. Now I will say the producers did an awesome job making the trap sound a little more musical. So just right click, fill each 2 steps. Just a steady hi-hat, nothing crazy. Let's go back to our chord progression and add melodic notes. Now I'm not gonna use the same melodic notes as that song, but so I'm gonna add my own notes. Now again, you don't have to worry about velocity here. This is one genre of music that embraces quantization, embraces, you know, constant velocity, those things. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, we have the A. Now we need a harp sound. Now this one I didn't find before the video because I wanted to find it with you, just to show you how, how to go about sound selection. So this one, we're looking for a harp sound, like a string, like a plucked harp. So the categories I would look under would be some kind of orchestral category. In this case, synths is not going to be the category. Probably not under brass and winds. Orchestral textures, let's go to strings. Let's just see. So I'm thinking of like a real harp, but I'm not sure if they have it. So in that case, we have to look for an alternative if we can't find it. Or we could search Omnisphere, duh. Type in harp. Now I have Omnisphere and I have Keyscape and I have Trillion, so it's pulling up almost like everything. Let me filter out the sound a little bit more. Just muffle it a little bit. Thin it out a bit. That way it softens the edges. Now harp, I'm not sure what category I would look under for a harp. It is technically a string instrument, but it's not a string machine. So sound selection really is like a skill. I want you to understand that. So let's just scroll down, see if we see anything. Not a harpsichord. I'm gonna pitch the hat down a bit. Okay. Little things like that are things that I notice. All right, harp, harp, harp. Caribbean oil can harp. This is probably not the harp that I'm looking for, but we're getting closer. Harp, 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 harpy, oh, harpsy. Fairies plucked harp, that's probably what we're looking for. Let's see. Nope, it's not what we're looking for. Okay. So, if you have Omnisphere, I suggest like starting a studio session and just going through sounds and marking them as your favorites, so it can save you time. That's not it. Now, if you have like tens of thousands of options, that means you didn't narrow your options enough. Now this is closer. Getting closer, we're almost there. Definitely not it. We don't want a scrapey tone. I don't want to spend too much time looking through sounds because again, this is not really beneficial to you, but it is a task to find sounds. So let's use this. It's not the exact sound I was looking for. Well, let's go to the effects, take off the reverb. Okay, so now we have this harsh sound. Now that's at the highest velocity. Now we have to adjust some things, like pull back the release time. So this is close enough, not the exact sound. All I'm going to do is find the scale of the track. So we're using all the white keys, I believe. To map out your scale, just play your keys until something sounds wrong. So all the white keys sound good. So now what we're going to do with the harp sound is just go up and down the scale over time. Now this can be very robotic. Now notice if I hit the keys harder, it gives me a different tone. So we need to program in lower velocity notes. So I'm literally just going up the scale, all the white notes. Now there's still a little too much tail. I know I'm being like specific here, but these little details separate amateurs from, you know, pros. So let's cut back on the release. And then we can leave little gaps. Now we have to leave at least one gap in here somewhere. Well, we don't have to, but you see this jump here? Now I'm not just going up and down and up and down. I made a jump. So that's one thing that's gonna make your harp stand out, making that dramatic jump, that break in the cycle of your scale. So it's not just like the expected note, like D, E, F, going up in order. It's like a random jump. I'm going to copy the same thing and just make a small change. Now I did this by accident, but it sounds good. Now, in this case, what we did musically, I've added the fourth here. You don't need to memorize this stuff, but I've added a fourth, so it just sounds good musically. It's called a perfect fourth. So I did the same thing here with D. Okay. So just little stuff like that. Now let's go to the mixer. Let's add a low pass filter. We want this to sit underneath the track. Let's add a low pass filter shape. And I do appreciate you for even continuing to view, because again, we're trying to spread the word, trying to help as many producers and artists around the world as possible. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank Q that rude boy. I can't say it like him, but the Wave Man, shout out to you, man. Now when we mix the track, we might add a little more reverb back to it. So let's let this sit way under the track so it doesn't get too much attention. You can even try a lower octave. Let's try hitting control down. Now if you do this low, you might want to add a high pass filter. This is pretty bassy sounding. A little too low. Let me change one note. Now let me also check my Omnisphere to make sure it's tuned to 440. It's not. I could tell something was out of tune. So always make sure your Omnisphere is tuned, because that can make your stuff sound like it's out of key even though it's not. And that's exactly what happened. Now it just sounds, you can feel the music a little bit more. Okay, let's go to the kick rhythm. Now we need a clap that I forgot to grab. Let's go to the Fire Drum Kit. Clap 4. It's a very common clap in hip hop. All right, let's go here. So the kick rhythm is boom. Where's our kick? So we have this 808. Let's fade it out a bit. Where's our clap? So with the clap on the 3 and the 7 count, if you don't know what that is, turn on your metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's how you count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now listen to when that hi-hat comes back in. I'm also going to add a hi-hat roll in here. So I'm going to make every other one unique so we can make that a new pattern. Just edit that. And I'm going to add a hi-hat roll in here somewhere. Let me zoom in so we could hear only this pattern. So like right here. Dun, 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 brr. So let's highlight that. Snap to grid half step. Hit Control U. Just something to excite the ear a bit. Throw it off. Now at the end, I'm going to make that unique and add one more hi-hat. So little stuff like that. That's what makes it exciting. Those contrast points. So I'm just programming the kick and the clap. So the kicks are going to be dance kicks, which are boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. So just very dancey. So I'm going to make different copies of it so it changes up over time. Okay, so let's go here. So I want to go boom, 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 boom. Now I'm leaving the pitch as it is. I'm not tuning the 808 or anything. But at the end, I want it to slightly rise up, in pitch. So I'm going to go to the piano roll, make another note, double click, change it to a slide note, and it's going to slide up to that pitch. So I'm just going to slide it up to E, which is a third. So switch 8 and 7 there. And there are the bounces. It's all about that contrast hi-hat. Pull back the steady hi-hat a bit, it's a little loud. Let's mix this a tiny bit. I'm not going to mix it too much. Sorry for that load. That loading time. I don't know why it takes long for certain plugins, not others, whatever. So I'm just gonna pick a hall reverb here, and I'll wrap this up. Now, I'm not even gonna butcher the vocal part, so I'm just gonna completely skip that. My voice is way too deep to sound like this Lil Mosey. So I'm gonna send the accordion and all the melodic stuff to the reverb. It gives it room. It makes it feel consistent. You don't have to OD on the reverb, but it gives it a little more depth, so it feels like you're giving it room, track room. So shout out to Sonic Synth 2 for being clutch with the instruments. Might start using it more. have it. So thank you for watching today. Again, I'm Game from BusyWorksBeats.com. If you want to learn more about music theory, just go to BusyWorksBeats.com/music theory. And please subscribe to the Wave Man. That was my poor emulation of our friend here. But anyway, thank you for your time. I hope you had fun. This is a really cool style. In fact, I want to investigate it a little bit more. So thank you to BusyWorksBeats.com.